So this is my experiment going live from a mobile device because I'm having technical difficulties with my computer. I guess it's not my day. So we will see if this turns out at all. But it is my duty and desire to go on with the show. You know, the saying, the show shall go on. So today I wanted to talk to you about my 5 must-have systems for small business because for small business owners, most of the time they're doing it all by their lonesome. They are wearing multiple hats, don't have the money to hire a team or outsource, and everything is just falling on their shoulders. And a lot of times it's also happening with remote work, lack of support. So you have to be super disciplined. And even if you are, and you're a hard worker, it's still a lot of pressure to do all that by yourself. What I have found the secret to be to solving this problem is systems. So today I want to present to you my systems that I use in my business. So we're going to be pulling back the curtain and I'll be showing you what I do. But before we dive in, let me just say for the people who are seeing me for the first time, my name is Krista. I've been a marketer for over 20 years. Worked with business owners, over 500 businesses. Um, Managed on my own over 30 people just as a solopreneur. Before that, I used to run bigger teams and have worked in over 10 countries, so very international. And so I've got the experience to share with you today. And so I've been there and I'm going to tell you everything. So the first type of system that I want to start off with is the most important one, in my opinion. It's the behind the scenes work systems. So what are you doing? What are you setting up inside your business? So the first thing you want to do before you even start about setting up systems, we have to ask a couple of questions. So why are you really in business? And everyone is going to say it's for the money, but it's really not. I feel like there's a lot more to it that we need to talk about today. So let's get honest here. What I think is that there's this bro culture, and it's really focused too much on the money side. And that's not ultimately a good enough reason because when it comes like push to shove, you're not going to you're not going to stick it out just because of the money. I know you may think that you will, but you won't because it has to go deeper. Remember, there's a million ways to make money. So find a good reason to be in business. I think that these reasons are much better. I think that when you really get down to it, the real reason most people are in business is for their family, their freedom, they want to have a good life, and they want to be in control of that because you can have all of this as an employee, but it's definitely a lot harder. So, the other thing that's super important that we have to ask about systems is when are you going to work? And there are really two schools of thoughts, two options about how, when are you going to work? So there's the anti-hustle and the pro-hustle side. So just like they sound, the anti-hustle is going to be like, well, I get everything done in 20 hours a week. And the pro-hustle is going to be like 90 hours, baby. And there is really no right or wrong. I'm not going to judge you because I think you can work really hard, even if you're doing the anti-hustle version. But you should be very careful who you're listening to because if you're following mentors who are advocating clearly the one side or the other, you need to be prepared for that kind of work ethic and that kind of lifestyle. So I think it's very lifestyle driven. So before we can even build you systems, we have to know which camp you're going to be in, okay? So bear with me because I am on mobile. And then we need to know really how you're going to get this all done, right? I mean, that's the ultimate thing. So, what do we need to understand is that multitasking is bad and time blocking is good. This is a myth that people cannot actually multitask. You know that? Um, so, what we want you to do is we want you to get super focused on time blocking and figuring out what time of the day you're going to work. How are you going to get your stuff done? So we're talking about this is the type of books that have really built my systems off of. So check these out. I'm a real big fan of these two books. Um, Cal Newport and with his digital minimalism, and then this other book, Indestructible. These are great books, and they will teach you how to build your systems so that you won't get burned out in your business. Okay. So what I want you to do is divide your day into 4 parts. You've got your early morning, your afternoon, and then your late evening. And why do you want to do that? Because then you can plan your day. So if you're a morning person, you're going to work in a certain time. If you're an evening person, and it's totally fine. Just like the anti-hustle or pro-hustle type people, don't fight your nature, man. Stick with what you like best. Like this is something that is really fascinating because it has to do with your biology of your body. And that is the circadian rhythms. Has anyone ever heard of circadian rhythms before? It's quite a mouthful. And basically, it's saying that your body has like flow of energy going through it, and you know who you are. So if you're the type of person who wakes up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't see the light. I just want to keep the shades closed. Please don't talk to me before 10 a.m. You are not a morning person and your energy is very low in the morning. Or the contrary, you're one of those super energetic 5 a.m. people. So wherever you fall, that's when you want to schedule your hardest work. So there's that time that's special just to you, and it's going to be different for you than for me. But wherever it is, you need to figure it out so that you can put all the hard work during that time, the time when you need your maximum brain power. So again, don't fight your nature. If you want to be more productive, you're going to have to really divide the day like a piece of pie, right? You're going to be like, okay, slice early morning, slice or late at night, and then figure out when you should do your work, okay? And then you're going to go throughout the day and you're going to think, okay, when do I need to do these different tasks? I personally really feel that in business, there's only 4 big tasks happening. And there is the behind the scenes, like team management. Then there's the marketing. Then there's the operations, which is usually like client management. And then there's business development. And I think that you can put all of that under the hood of running a business. So again, Um, this can work for you whether you're a side hustler or you're full time in your business, is just figuring out when you need to do what and dividing who's going to do this work. So, do you have people? Are you able to bring in a partner or hire help? Or like how is the work divided up inside your team or with your partner? Um, or within a group of people so that you can get all these things done. And then what you're going to have to do is have those days. So the days of the week are super important so that we can figure out, when you should be doing this work. And let me see here. So in my business, I do marketing, and I just wanted to show you guys all the different roles and responsibilities that there are in a marketing team. So at any given time, I might have some of these people come in and do work for me. I do have a small team, and then I do work with clients' teams, and I also hire freelancers and contractors as needed for different projects. So at any given time, there's all these different tasks that need to be done, and this all relies on systems. So to keep everything under the organization, these are two more books that I really follow is Buy Back Your Time and Clockwork. And basically, what this is telling you is that you should focus a lot on delegation. So you want to calculate what would your hourly rate be based on the money that you want to be making every year. So whatever that number is, you can do the math, you can adjust it. And obviously, where you're at today doesn't mean you're always going to be at that. But I'm just putting a pretty high number for some, but for other people, they might think that's low. So it depends where you're from and where you're at in your business. But then whatever that hourly rate turns out to be, you should think about how can I outsource this? And the truth is the 4-hour work week, which is the anti-hustle book that I shared earlier, this really shows you how you can hire help for anything. So instead of spending your time on a task, if you can find someone who can do it for less than your hourly rate, then it's worth it. Because during that time that they're doing those manual tasks, you can be doing stuff to generate more money for your business, like business development or like producing content or meeting with a potential customer or attending a community event where you know you're going to network with people. So think about that because really we don't have the luxury of wasting our time. You know, time is money. And the whole point of building systems is to waste less time and get more done. So these are some of the things that I really want you to do is learn to master your time, say no to more things, use AI. Excuse me. We're going to talk about that in the next slide here because I really do love using AI. So my AI content systems, oops. Wait a sec. God, I've never done this on my phone before. Okay, so this is kind of my content flywheel strategy. So you'll see that for me, my systems are going to go over website, social media, email, events, even podcasting, all of those things. And for all of these things, I have systems that I've built. I didn't build them overnight either, but I do like to cheat. So I feel like it's super important to use AI. If you're not using AI in 2025, where have you been for the past year? I mean, AI has taken over and it can help save you time. It can be your personal assistant. It can do a lot of tasks for you, okay? So don't neglect your AI. Go all in and try out all the tools. And best of all, there's usually a free version of most of these tools. So you don't have to go and pay anything in the beginning. You can figure out, okay, can I get away with the free version or do I really, really need this tool? Then maybe it's worth it for you to get the paid option, but it's not obligatory. So there's really no excuse. Whatever you do, you should be learning AI so that you can save time. And then my personal brand growth system. So I should make a note that I have grown my personal brand primarily on LinkedIn. And why LinkedIn? A lot of people cringe about LinkedIn. They say it's not a cool platform, but it is for me because I work with B2B brands. And so that means that my clients are on LinkedIn. They're not on Facebook, they're not hanging around on Instagram, they're really hanging out on LinkedIn. So wherever your audience is who you're trying to reach, just make sure that you're focused on building your brand because the brand then is like your 24/7 salesperson. And that's a system right there, right? So how do I build my brand? And I would do the same thing on any platform, not just LinkedIn. I will share with you in a minute. So the main thing that you want to do is figure out how to put out. Oops, I skipped one. Hold on, my friends. I'm doing this on my phone. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe how I'm getting this done on my phone. I'm serious. But in any case, what I love to talk about are the different C's. So content, conversations, community, commenting, and all of this leads to conversions. And you can remember that for whatever platform that you want to build your personal brand on, but that's how you do it. Summarizing it in a nutshell, today we're not going deep into any of these systems, but I'm giving you like a broad overview so you can figure out how you can grow your systems for yourself. And again, this worked for me. I'm not preaching that it's going to work for everybody, but I definitely think it's worth sharing. And then now we're talking about our media presence systems. So, what is media? Well, essentially, it's just getting yourself out there on other people's platforms. So you want to see, can I guest podcasts, like be a guest on someone's podcast? Can I speak? Now, public speaking, you've heard of that. You can speak at a conference, you can speak in somebody else's community, you can speak at a local meetup. There's all kinds of speaking opportunities for you. Then we've got guest blogging, which is pretty cool. That's a way to get the word out about you. Attending conferences is another way, and especially if you can speak at those conferences, even better. Writing articles, getting your articles published in big media channels, and getting on best lists or getting some kind of awards. All of this is going to build your media presence and help you become more well known. And I can't believe this is working on my phone. I'm serious. Partnership systems. So we don't go very far by ourselves. And that's something that in business people often forget, but it's so true. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you should be thinking, how can I get more help around me? So some of the ways that I like to partner up with people are affiliations. So honestly, affiliations, you can do this with other creators. Like if they're going to launch something, you can become an affiliate and you can help them sell it. That would be something like a group coaching program, a course, a digital product, a book, an event that they're trying to fill. And what for people who've never done affiliate stuff, it means that you get paid by sharing their thing, promoting it on your own, and you have a link so that when someone clicks on your link and makes the purchase, they know about it and you get a little bit of money. And believe it or not, I've made a pretty sum of money over the past 5, 6 years with affiliation. And I have an affiliate program for my stuff. So it's really a great way of getting the word out there via partnerships with other people who have their own audiences. Um, and then we have referrals. So everybody knows what a referral is, but it's really a very good system. Like you set it up and then you let people know, and hey, if they get you a new business, you may have like a fee that you pay them, like a one-time referral fee. And it's worth it because they did a lot of marketing and they brought somebody in who becomes a great client. Why not? The third thing is brand deals. So I myself have done a few brand deals, and in 2025, I want to get more brand deals. This is something that I really enjoyed, and I'm getting more and more interested in it. And brand deals means that you are like a paid influencer. So you have a brand partnership. And if you look on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn, they have a little sign that says brand partnership now. So they know, it's a sponsored post. I think on YouTube, they also have like a little button that you turn on that said, this contains a paid promotion or something like that. But brand deals can be paid very, very well depending on who you get to work with. Then sponsorships. So as you grow your personal brand, you open yourself up to get sponsors. All right. And when you're starting your business, if you have more money, then you can also become a sponsor for somebody who has a bigger audience. So they bring you customers, you see? And then endorsements. So getting an endorsement from somebody who's a big deal can go very, very far for you. So what does that look like? It means maybe they shout you out in a post. Maybe they agree to give you a written endorsement that you can use in your marketing or on your website, whatever, but it's very powerful, a system that can bring new clients. And then last but not least is like co-hosting or co-creating things. So I know people who co-created a podcast together, multiple people who've written books together, who've hosted a conference together. So all of those systems will bring you new business. So the point that I wanted to make today about systems is that for everything we talked about, there is a system behind it. And I think I need to go back. Hold on. There is something missing in here. Where is it? Bear with me, guys. There is something missing. Damn it. Okay. Aha. Okay. So let me go back because doing this on my phone is kind of a hassle. And I don't want to miss this. I want you guys to hear this. And that is way back in one of the things that I asked that I think we really need to talk more about. Oh, okay, I missed it. There it is. Okay. So, in order to set up your systems, you want to have two things, and that is SOPs and KPIs. Okay. So, SOPs stand for Standard Operating Procedures. And that may sound very boring, but it is your gold mine because that's how you build systems so you don't have to work. And in all these books that I've been sharing, they talk a lot about SOPs. So for everything you do in your business, you can build an SOP and then you can give it to somebody else to do. And I like the book that I shared. Let me see a few slides further. Where is it? There. Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. One thing that he does in this book, I don't know if he talks about it in his book or if it was in his videos, but what I learned from him is to use Loom, which is like a video recording software, a screen recording software, to record the process that you do so that you don't have to write it down. How great is that? You can just film yourself doing it and maybe talk through it. And then when you give it to somebody else, it's like they don't even like they have the full thing. They even have a demo of how you do it. And maybe in the beginning this may feel weird to you, but once you get used to it, it will be a lifesaver because literally you should be building SOPs for all of these things that you do in your business and then slowly getting it off your plate and outsourcing it. And you may be thinking, wherever you're at in your business, you may have some concerns because of budgeting. And you may be thinking, well, what do I do if I'm starting out and I don't have enough money to outsource and hire other people? But the truth is that it means that you're just not charging enough. Because if you are spending more time working on your marketing, like producing content or networking, doing business development, getting on calls with potential customers, working on proposals, you're going to generate more money and you're going to be able to get better clients because the more demand you're in, the higher the demand people have for you and your services, the higher you can charge in your rates. So Of course, if you're broke and desperate, it feels like the end of the world, but that's just a lack of systems. So think about it. While you're doing all of those things that's bringing you more money, you're going to generate more money, and then you'll have more money to hire a team. And as I mentioned, you don't have to hire a full-time employee. You today we're lucky because we live in a global economy where you can find people all over the world for any budget you want. So don't hesitate to look at places like Fiverr and Upwork. Um, you know, you can look anywhere. There's plenty of great people out there who can help you with any task you want. But if you start building systems and you document, like, how do I manage my customers? And is there parts of it that I can outsource? What about my team? Again, in the beginning, you might not have a big team, but you should always be thinking in this way about the marketing, the business development, the client management, the team management, and then thinking, what am I doing to better handle my marketing? What am I doing for my new business development? What am I doing for managing my customers? And you'll see very quickly which tasks you can potentially give to somebody else. And I think that's going to be pretty amazing for you. And then the other part of this is your KPIs. So systems only work if they're effective. And how do you know they're effective? Because you measure your KPIs. And again, this is a jargon, so I'm going to explain what they are in case somebody doesn't know. KPIs stand for key performance indicators. And just like they sound, they're basically saying, how am I doing? So, like in school, you get graded. Well, after school and you have a business, how do you grade yourself? Most people are just like, oh, I don't bother. I just grade myself if I made buck or not. If I made cash, then I'm happy. If I didn't make enough cash, I'm not happy. But you're never going to get to that point of making really good cash if you're not measuring the other stuff. So you need to have KPIs for your marketing, for your business development, for your customer management, and for your team, of course. And maybe in the beginning, your team is you, and you can grade yourself. And you're like, how am I taking care of these things? Am I doing a good job or am I not? And you'll know for sure. So there's tons of literature online you can find, and you can even use AI and ask AI to help you put together some KPIs for your business. So don't be shy, don't make excuses. "Oh, I don't know what that is," because if you're going to be a business owner, you got to act like a business owner. Um, and that's it. So I hope this is helpful. And I definitely am proud of myself for doing this on my phone. I just want to end this by saying that I'm always open to hearing from you guys. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, so if you want to get in touch with me, you can go there and DM me there. But I'm also on all other platforms too, so you can try to reach me on most places. It's been great spending some time with you guys today, and I hope this turns out. I'm gonna have to see in the end if it all worked out, but fingers crossed it did, and you're able to watch this. And if you want to learn more about business systems, please reach out to me, and I have plenty of resources for all things goal setting, business systems, marketing systems, social selling, sales. Like, I've built out an entire academy from 0 to 6 Academy that has all kinds of resources. And I produce a ton of free content. So, whether or not you become a customer is another thing, but I definitely have plenty of resources to help you at every stage of growing your small business. I've been at this for many years now, and I think I'm doing pretty well. And I don't work that hard either. I have to say, I think I'm very detail oriented and very good at what I do, and that enables me to work a lot less. Thanks to being organized, thanks to having my systems in place, um, and it's thanks to really valuing my time. So ultimately, it's time and money and we're always juggling between the two. But whatever you do, don't forget that your time is equally valuable and maybe even more valuable than anything. All right, take care, and I will see you guys very soon.